Okay, I will just play whatever I want. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's almost like being in love.
I'm so fortunate today to share my short morning with my friend Joe Bousard.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. That was for you, Carolyn.
I just love that. I don't know how you knew that. That's my favorite song.
Well, it was one of the biggest audition songs in New York. Everybody wanted to do it, including the non-singers. But when a good singer came along, then it was really quite wonderful.
Yeah. Well, Joe is going to be entertaining us on October 27th at our upcoming fundraiser called Champagne and Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Joe many years ago
Yeah.
through another mutual composer. And I respect and love his style of history and music theater. And when I thought, well, I need a 2-hour fix from Joe Bousard.
Oh, thank
So,
you. Well, I'm
I
looking
selected-
forward to it. It's going to be fun.
It will be fun. And the choir is so excited to hear
Oh,
you
God
and
bless
sing
them.
with you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Joe, tell me, when you moved to Anthem
Mm-hmm.
here, I know that you shared with me that you had to kind of start over from your career in the East, in Boston and
We came
Manhattan.
back actually in '94, and we were living at 7th Avenue in Greenway for almost 9 years. And then we moved to Anthem. Our kids were coming back after college, and we said, oh, Anthem, that's kind of far up there. And then we saw it, we said, oh no, it isn't, it's wonderful. So we moved in 15 years ago.
Okay. And so for these last 15 years, you're so busy in different theaters. You mentioned Children's Theater.
Musical Theater of Anthem is one of them, and then the Don Bluth Theater is the other one. That's an adult community theater.
In
That's down at
Scottsdale.
101 in Shane, Scottsdale. And I've done some other things at Arizona Jewish Theater years ago when Janet was still on. I tried to be selective, and I tried to go where things are not only ethical, but creative and free. And so I've been very lucky. I really have. I've done as much as I can do.
And this is your private studio, which I'm
Private
lucky
studio.
to sit in and enjoy all the memorabilia, the zonies, and
Oh, yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of CDs and beautiful framed memorabilia.
Yep.
But what if you could name, I know this is hard over
No,
a generation
well,
of
but-
successes that you've had. I know you love Lerner and Lowe, you loved, of course, Gershwin, and you love
yeah.
Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Cole Porter and
Yeah, all the classics. Is there one musical that just warms your heart?
Well, one special one is Music Man.
Okay.
I had a chance to direct it, and I've done a lot of the numbers for it. It's one of those very special musicals that not everybody takes to because it's an odd kind of story. It's Meredith Willson rap, rhythmic things that a lot of people don't quite get. But oh my God, when you hear that stuff and you hear the
Pitter-patter,
beautiful,
yeah.
oh.
He's like the original
Well, you got trouble,
rapper.
he was the original. Well, you got trouble, my friend. I say you got trouble right here in River City. Well, oh my God, it took me 6 months to learn that one.
I directed that in
Did you
high
really?
school
Oh, I
with
love it.
100 volunteer kids.
Oh my
And
God.
I remember
Oh, it's
teaching those
fabulous.
girls
And-
the diction and the tempo
Yeah,
and then
and
the music.
pick a little top, little, pick a little top, little, tick, 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 top.
Yeah.
And then Till There Was You has got to be one of the most
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous songs, just
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. But I also do love My Fair Lady for a lot of reasons. I love Shaw. I love the fact that they were able to musicalize Shaw. It took them years to get the rights and to find the right words, and Alan J. Lerner really did capture everything he could possibly do in that show.
Wow.
And then Carousel is another favorite. Oh God, that
Oh,
it's a dark show,
I know it is.
but I love the quality of that music and the whole set of scenes and music together, and the beauty of the fantasy and what Billy is and all of that. Oh, it's exciting. And my other one of the other favorites, Guys and Dolls, which I've done twice,
Adorable.
actually 3 times.
Yeah.
And then Most Happy Fella. It's got to be one of the most gorgeous opera. It really rivals Showboat and Porgy and Bess for pure, absolute music. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. So. I love the melodies.
Yeah, oh, they're
and the
gorgeous.
Words.
Oh,
So
they're beautiful. My heart is so full of you. My heart is so full of you. So full of you. There is no room. And then, of course, Rosabella has a gorgeous thing where somebody somewhere wants me and needs me, which my daughter does, and I go crazy and have to not cry.
Absolutely, that is so fabulous that
thank
you
you.
just can pour this out. So when you were 9 in Boston, correct?
Yeah, Boston, that's right. Yeah.
You were having a wonderful experience with a great teacher, and I remember you shared with me that you played by ear so naturally, but that structure that this teacher insisted that you have carried you through your entire...
I began to understand that I needed to understand what was on the page and be able to relate it to my ear as well as what I wanted to do physically. It wasn't until years later, though, that it all made sense, because I had to keep doing it. And I would always want to fill in. And you can't, in classical world, fill in everything. Especially when you're accompanying somebody. You want to give them the structure, but you also want to give them what they need to hear as a singer and or as an instrumentalist. So I would say it took me a good 10 to 15 years to really learn to read well and to understand chord structure, learning to read lead sheets as well as scores. I stayed away from, not away from the classical world, but I wasn't technically that kind of pianist so much as I was theater and jazz and pop, and I wanted the freedom. I said, I don't want to be confined by anything. So I fought for that freedom, and I was able to get away with it. I was very lucky.
Tell me your opinion of Hamilton.
Well, I have very mixed feelings about Hamilton. I am not into rap. I don't understand it, honestly speaking. I have trouble hearing it. I've listened to a lot of it. I haven't seen the whole show. I find it lacking authenticity, to be very blunt. If you're going to do a story like that, which is historical of a kind, you can do it with a group of actors who just dress in simple clothes and tell the story. But rather than putting it in authentic dress and then contradicting the characters by casting it oddly, I'm very confused. But everybody I know that has seen it is exciting. The kids love it.
Yeah.
They seem to learn from it.
Correct. It's touched a whole generation.
Yeah, it has. And I can't discount it by any means. I think he's very talented.
Yeah.
I'm just not into it.
Right. Do you have a favorite show that's playing now in New York?
Well, let's see. There have been revivals of a lot of things, some of which haven't worked. Hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
I think I got to see Carol Channing in it twice. And when she did it out here again, it was interesting because she'd gotten older, but she was still doing it. God bless her. She had the audience in the palm of her hand. They've done a lot of good revivals. Carousel is revived again. They revived Cinderella, some of those things. Showboat, yeah. Showboat's a brilliant show. It's a tough show to do, and in this day and age, a lot of the black people don't want to hear that history anymore. It's sad to them, and I understand that. It's like Porgy and Bess. It's brilliant and wonderful, but it's a history that they've gone past. But Showboat is still one of the most beautiful scores ever written. And the original score ran 3.5 hours. And they've trimmed it down, but it's still beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I hope that everyone who has a chance to watch this little short promo of Joe will understand that we're in for a real treat on Saturday, October 27th at David and Mary Beth's home. They live at 12917 North 75th Street. Tickets are online at www.CarolynEynonsingers or cesingers.com. They're $40 in advance on PayPal or $50 at the door. We have delicious champagne and wonderful chocolate.
Oh, good, I get to have some.
By Fairy Tale Brownies and Rocky Mountain Chocolates.
Wonderful.
And then all the groceries that we can have donated. We're very fortunate.
Well, that's lovely.
So I'd like you to hear Joe play us out.
Okay, I'm going to play a song that I wrote years ago, based on several things, and it's very Broadway, and it's very New York, and it's very theatrical.